this today. Stay present, man. 3.5 hours. Do this together, man. It starts with us. It ends with us.
Hey, no cheers! Thing we got.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
Can kick it? Yes, you can. Can kick it? Yes, I can. Can kick it? Yes, you can. Can kick it? Yes, you can. Yeah, we trying to see if that Tokyo toe got toenail over there. You feel me? So we talking special teams. They got the kickers of the ball today. And then we also have a couple coaches, and we have Nailor, Speedy Nailor. Little known fact, I'm just going to be transparent because, this is Sunday. It's at the end of Sunday. I have a couple confessions I need to make. And the first confession is Speedy Nailor, him and I share the same nickname. That's my nickname. My family call me that. And they don't call me by my name. That I've always been that. Like, even when I got super grown, my grandma tried to call me my first name. She still called me Speedy. So that's my nickname. That's my first confession. My second confession is I'll tell y'all in a second. I'm gonna tell y'all my second confession in a minute, but what's good, Ritter Twuan? What's good with my brother, man? What's up with the evening?
Hey, it's Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Some people, it's coming to realization who they are, you know what I'm saying? And we might talk about that a little later on, but yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. We about to talk about it sooner than later. Because we got a like my boy TB12 say, we gotta lock in, laser focus.
Laser focus, right? Hey, this presser, man. Hey, look, it's special teams, you know what I'm saying? And these are guys that we're gonna be calling on. You know what I'm saying? The majority of these guys, there is some other guys that are gonna, come up on these pressers, but for the good majority, it's the special teams guys, and these are the guys that we're going to be required to ask, you know what I'm saying, for them to do some things that are special, you know what I'm saying, on special teams. And I can't say it enough, and I'm glad that we have a head coach that makes it an effort, is emphasis on special teams. I think a lot of people, they just think about offense and defense, but there's three sides of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Offense, defense, and special teams. And sometimes, and be honest with you, I've seen special teams lose a game for a team. You know what I'm saying? So special teams is a factor, whether they're kicking the last the last minute field goal, or you know what I'm saying, or just playing the field percentage, you know what I'm saying, the field yardage and the field
position.
Field position game, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Black. But all that is important, and I'm glad that this head coach is putting the emphasis on special teams.
Yeah, you ain't never lied. I was telling you before we went live, I said we got to pay attention in this meeting. Coach Kubiak might walk in here because, a lot of people overlook the special teams, and we got two coaches in the presser, so it might not be as sexy as having Brock Bowers and Fernando and all the sound bites we get, but you got to pay attention to the most minutia, the minute details. So that's what we do. That's why I really appreciate my brother, because he does his homework. I love being around people who do the education. It's okay to be wrong, especially if you do the education, because you ain't gonna be wrong for long if you continue to do the education, and iron sharpens iron. So I hope you guys appreciate the content that we bring in. And please hit that like button on the way in. Don't be a fair Raider, and hit that fair for the Bart Show, the Bay Area Raider Talk. So, brother man, you got that new video out, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if y'all seen it. He dropped it about 5:30 West Coast time about Nando sexual. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but if you haven't heard about it, you're gonna hear about it. And so y'all make sure y'all go to his page and like and subscribe and go check out that video. Don't like and subscribe first. Look at the video, and if you don't appreciate that content, then don't. But if you do, then subscribe. I'm gonna speak for him on that one because we're in unison with that one. So, but it's doing good so far right now. I'm telling you, by tomorrow this time you're gonna be. I think I told you you're gonna gonna be surprised if people gonna want to know what you talking about, man. How you feeling about that so far?
Hey man, just go ahead.
Hold on, because you got a little backlash, a little bit, just a little bit, you know.
You know, hey, there's always going to be people that are going to agree with you, and there's always going to be people that are going to disagree with you. But definitely, I'm not going to break it down for you. You know what I'm saying? I need you to go over to Raider Twuan. You know what I'm saying? Just drop the hot fire for you. You know what I'm saying? On Nando sexual. You know what I'm saying? What is a Nando sexual? You know what I'm saying? And you need to know what that is, because again, you might be hearing that floating around, you know what I'm saying? Not just with Raider Twuan, but you might hear some other content creators, you know what I'm saying, that have hit me up and said, hey, Twuan, I'm going to go ahead and use that over here. You know what I'm saying? I say, go ahead and use it, because we definitely need to, you know, kind of lightweight expose some people, you know what I'm saying, that are identified as Nando sexuals. And hey, it might be you that might be a Nando sexual.
And if it is, it's okay, because we still love you. Don't ever forget that part.
Yeah.
Don't get that part twisted. Yep. And if you got an issue with it, we got the time and place for you. 8:30. What? Oh wait. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. 8:30 West Coast time. Fight or Flight Club. New Raider debate show. Structured, respectful debate show. You see, there's some hitters on there. We got hitters on that thing. So make sure y'all come hack in on Friday at 8:30. We're gonna have a debate show where the Raider Nation can get together and have conversation about what's going on in the history, the present, and maybe even the future. So yeah, that's gonna be all good. So let me say what's up to the chat before I get into what we're gonna get to tonight. Raider Nation, Jason, what's up with my brethren? Yeah, I did a show with him earlier today, and Chris. I really appreciate it. Nice show. Wonderful gentleman. I appreciate you guys. Make sure y'all go to Raider Jason. It's RNJ Pod. Make sure y'all go hack into there. What's this, Linz? Oh, Lindsay, what's good with you? Sarah?
Hello.
Jeffrey? I hope Kirk Cousins make a lot of noise. Let's just wait and see what happens. Go Raiders, 54-year fan. Yes. You know what? I'm gonna get some sound effects for all my golden members. My golden members. That's 50 years or more. Golden members. I love you. Me too. I'm not only true to this. I'm definitely not new to this. So man, shout out to you. And speaking of Perko Chains, I know y'all was making fun of my boy the other day, man. Oh, and this leads me to my second confession. Jesus, my confession. This leads me to my second confession. Y'all, a lot of people's making noise about my man and his drills and how he looked like he was 80 years old and he was old and he gonna be out week 2 and week 3. And they were for week 4, Wi-Fi Willie. They were sitting up there saying all these things and they based it off them drills. Well, I want to know what y'all think now, seeing this.
That's Brent. Look at Kirko. That's Brent. Look at Kirko.
In the chat, how many yards you thought that was?
That was at least 40, 50 yards for sure.
Put how many yards did Kirko, you know what I'm saying, put on the Jets?
Yeah, man. Pizzo, if you ain't doing nothing, pull up, brother.
Hey,
No, you might not want to. No, you might not want to do this one. You might not want to do this. We'll do it tomorrow. But if you want to, you're always welcome. Yeah, Pizzo, Washington. So what you say about Kirk? What you think about that before I have to make my confession?
Hey, I mean, everybody was talking about how slow he was, but you know what I'm saying? It seemed like he put on the Jets to just let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? he knows how to turn it on and when to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? And that's what seasoned vets do. You know what I'm saying? They know during practice when to turn it on and when to turn it off. You know what I'm saying? When they go ahead, young bucks, go ahead and run your heart out. You know what I'm saying? While we doing warm-ups. You know what I'm saying? And for those that were looking real intense, you know what I'm saying, trying to be real scientific, you know what I'm saying, on some warm-ups, you know what I'm saying, maybe you need to start putting things in context and perspective, and maybe you wouldn't be going so hard on our starting quarterback. So yeah, I think that was just a little taste to let y'all know that, you know, our starting quarterback is a little more mobile than what you think it is.
Oh yeah, he definitely showed a little bit more mobility. That didn't look like no 80-year-old out there. Matter of fact, I beg to say a lot of y'all that's talking about him, especially if you're 35 or older, y'all probably ain't even ran 50 yards in 5, 10 years. So, you know, he like that old school Mustang. You gotta let it warm up a little bit. So this was day 3 in camp, and then, you know, now you hit the gas brake and dip. You know what I'm saying? So don't play with Kirk. So here's my confession. Although I would beg to say that he's faster than AOC right now at 37 years old, turning 38. So I would say he was faster because AOC might have fell down while he ran that far. And then they would have had to airlift him up into the inner-house memorial or whatever. So, man, I'm juiced about what he did because he essentially trolled everybody and he let everybody know, don't play with him. So here's my confession. I said that I wasn't necessarily in love with Kirk Cousins. I was in love with competent quarterback play. Well, I'm confessing. I love me some Kirk Cousins now. Because he's showing me what it is. He's showing me like, okay, you a doubter, you a hater, okay, I got some hi hater. And I'm the same way. When you try to tell me I can't do something, or I'm too this, or I'm not that, or I do too much of this, or not enough that, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna show you. Hi hater. So from now on, y'all can go ahead and say, you just love Kirk Cousins. Yep. And I'm going to say, you just love ignorance because I know that Kirk Cousins was going to be this QB1 since April 3rd. And he's showing you why. And Klint Kubiak is showing y'all why he is going to be our starting quarterback because he's earned it. It wasn't given to him. It was earned. But to whom much is given, much is expected. So I'm raising the roof of wins now. Since y'all can look at him and say, "Ooh, he's stumbling." I mean, week 4, week 3. Okay, cool. I respect that. Now, since I seen what I seen, I'm gonna up my ante a little bit. I said 7 games. I'm upping it. I'm gonna up it. I'm upping it to 8 now. I'm upping it to 8. In my mind, I say 10 now. The ceiling is 10 now, y'all. I just raised the ceiling, just raised the roof now. It's 10 now, y'all. Because if you don't believe you can do it, you're not. And I believe this team is going to be able to do it at this point. I love what I'm seeing. So, Kirk Canes, or Cousin Kirk, as I call him, show them what you working with, brother. You feel me? So, man, Frank Webb was good. Marcus Banks was good with you. Willie Wayne. We got the Raiders in the building, man. So yeah, let's get to the meeting, man. Coach Kubiak wants us to do our homework. He expects the players to work hard. He expects us to work hard too. We used to be a competent fan base. We used to know football. We used to be one of the most knowledgeable fan bases of football itself. Let's get back to that. Let's see. So we're gonna go start off with Coach, man. See what he said because I haven't watched this. We are gonna see the Tokyo Toe talk. A lot of people excited about him, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
All right, how's everybody doing? Awesome. What do we got?
Coach, I'd like to ask you specifically about your attention to detail. I mean this as a compliment. You're a perfectionist. Would you talk about how that parlays into getting that into your players, sir?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. That there might be some people that would disagree with that, but no, for real. I think the way that we get it across to our players is we call it one down, right? In the kicking game, you really only have one down to get it right. It's either fourth down, which obviously bad things can happen if you don't execute, and then on kickoff or kickoff return, you have one play. There is no second or third down to get it right. So, we try to get that across to our guys as much as we can, and then just as far as all the drills and all the setup and all that stuff, I've got an unbelievable assistant. His name's Tim McConnell, and then Marquise Williams. They're the ones that get me organized. So they're really they should be commended also because, that's what we want. We want to make sure that time is of the essence and it's really well organized, and that's hopefully what's getting out there.
Okay. Okay. Remember, I keep telling y'all about these goosebumps, man. These is real, man. I'm telling y'all. First of all, he OG. He one of them real OGs. Like, he still might slap the taste out your mouth.
Right.
He was like, he still do push-ups and sit-ups. He coach look like he don't even play at all. You know what I'm saying? And so what he said that I really just loved is one down. You only get one down in special teams. The importance of knowing there's no zero margin for error. I think I'm gonna put that down for a t-shirt. For people that really love the game and understand that special teams are important. You can go buy a Tokyo Toe t-shirt that say Chinese writing on it, like this, right? Where is that? I mean Japanese writing, I'm sorry. Let me get it right. Yeah. Y'all buy a jersey with them letters on there and don't know what it say. It could say 2 egg rolls on it. You don't even know. But you'll buy it. But make sure y'all buy that shirt that's gonna say one play. And it always sometimes boils down to the one play too. So I like that one play.
Yeah, you know what else I like about it, Black, is that when you have good leadership, it trickles down. And one of the things he said was, when we get out there, we only have a certain amount of time, and we're trying to maximize that time. What does that sound like? That sounds just like what we've been saying in regards to these press conferences, and I'm glad that me and you are doing these press conferences together because I know you remember this same conversation, is how, Klint Kubiak is he makes it very efficient, you know what I'm saying? And he's trying to make every moment and every second that they're out there on the field count and making it matter. And that's the same thing that the special teams coordinator under the leadership of the head coach is doing. So it's good to hear that they're even in sync in that like, hey, we're not trying to waste time. We're trying to be out there and as much time that we can get, we're trying to maximize those snaps. And again, making every snap count.
Yeah, you're not lying about that. Everybody's in unison, so I love that too because everybody got to be moving in the same direction, one heartbeat, one sound, right?
Yeah.
Seen from Kansei that has truly impressed you so far this season?
Well, he did a good job of working in the offseason after we left here. He worked with a couple guys down in San Diego, and you can see a little bit more power in his kicks. But he's done a good job so far. We haven't had a lot of live kicks today. We thought we were going to get more in that 2 minute, but we only had the one. So I'm pleased with where he's at, but he's got a lot of work to do left.
So they're talking about Tokyo. One of the knocks on him was the strength of his feet, of his leg. Young man, looked very young. What you say, Twuan, looked like he just graduated high school.
Yep.
So let's see if we can, our weight training has been doing a good job with our players this year. So that goes down to the kickers. And I think he just said he thought they had 2 minutes to go live for live kicks. That's when you have the line and they rushing the kicker. And they only had 1 minute, it sounded like he said. So like you said, time is of the essence if that is the case. That's not to say they only had one. That's just a time period they had to go live kicking because of course they practiced prior to that. But there's a period where they bring the whole team together and do the special teams and do live kicking. So they only have 1 minute. So in that competition in practice, they only might have got a couple kicks in each kicker. So in 1 minute is not a long time at all.
I mean, and the special teams guys, they're you know, they're kicking, you know what I'm saying? Even, you know, when other things is going on, but like you said, that live moment is when there's other people involved, when you can simulate the rush and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, AJ Cole and them can, you know, go to the other field and kick their hearts out. But again, that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's just free kicking. That's just them kicking with no pressure, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So to have those moments of simulation, you know what I'm saying, of kicking, it adds pressure to the situation. You know, a lot of factors are involved when there's more bodies involved. So those moments, whether it's 2 minutes, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 1 minute, those moments in itself are precious. So they're like, again, they're trying to maximize those and take advantage of those moments because they don't get many of those moments during camp.
Facts.
How much is just camp, and how much is it also the veterans got the experience?
Well, yeah, you got experience, but I mean, it's a position battle, right? I mean, we're competing. It's everybody out here. They're competing. Yeah, there's some spots where guys are going to be for sure, but we want to have competition all the way throughout this team. That's how Coach got it started, and that's how we want to get this thing going.
So much more important now.
I didn't know I was going to be kicking it, stopping it so much. So look, remember I told you he OG, right? Like no sugar coating. He's like, yeah, sure. There's players that we know for sure that got the
AJ
position,
Cole.
but there's a competition across the board. And so when you hear a coach say that there's a competition across the board, that don't mean that don't mean every player. Like we really trying to think why give him the job if he already slotted in? Like, man, some players you just know is gonna be on the starting, like Chickly J.
Right, the elephant is definitely in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Special teams. There is no battle with AJ Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
as simple
Right.
as that. But everybody else, everybody else is a suspect.
You better stay on your toes, straight
Right.
on your toes.
So how do you balance kind of a better kicker on field goals with who can do the kickoffs that you guys need?
Right, that's a great question. The kickoffs are different though than they used to be, right? Because now, you're not hitting it out of the end zone. If you had a guy that wasn't strong enough to hit out of the end zone before, you were in trouble. But now, because of the placement and because of the kind of kicks we'll give, we call them dirty kicks, it'll be a little bit different kick. You don't have to have the same power. Now, do you have to be able to execute them? Heck yeah, you better be able to execute them. Otherwise, they get the ball at the 40, kick the ball out of bounds. So it's an important factor for sure.
Klint was talking on Friday about 90% of these guys don't have an established role on this team yet, and a lot of them will need to make the team on special teams. Just how, in these early stages of training camp, can guys differentiate themselves in teams?
Well, first of all, it's great that the head coach is saying that because there's a lot of head coaches in this league that really don't care about it, and he does, which is great. It's one of the reasons I came here. But the second part of that question is how they differentiate themselves. We have 3 teams that we're working with right now. They have names of the teams, and it's a competition every day. So we carry points with each one of those guys. So when we see a guy that's got a lot of points, we know he's doing a good job right there, whether it's a hustle play, whether it's a tackle, whether it's a great block, whether it's using a fishing technique we're coaching. We try to get that competitive as much as we can also, and that'll help them as far as getting started.
Ooh, I wish I was playing special teams for him. They got a point system. Hey, I didn't want to stop this so much already. I'm telling y'all.
Hey, nuggets, man. We got to stop it when there's some nuggets given, man. I'm just saying he's spitting fire without even realizing he's spitting fire, man.
Bro, he said we got a point system. First of all, I would go back to the kicking. You don't have to have the strongest leg. Maybe Tokyo Token do kickoffs. Fortune Cookie says yes. Okay. But But he said we got a point system, whether you hustling, you make a tackle, because sometimes you only show up when you make tackles, and they used to call me a special freak because I was on special teams. I earned my way on the field through special teams. You want to be able to help your team in any aspect of the game. Because like you said, Twuan, games can be lost in special team. Field goal position, like he said, you kick the ball out of bounds, right? On kickoff. They get the ball at the 40. Nowadays, all you gotta do is get a first down and 3 or 4 more yards. Now you're kicking a 63-yard field goal with the balloon ball, and it's very makeable. So special
Automatic
teams is
points.
starting to creep in a little bit more. What do you say, bro?
No, I said that's just automatic points. If you do that, kick, like you said, kick the ball out of bounds, then it lands at the 40, and like you said, a first down or two, you automatically in point land, especially with these kickers that are already, without the moon ball, kicking 50 yards. So now they got a specialty ball, that they can inflate or deflate to their liking, and there's a lot of benefits to the kicking game, and like you said earlier, Black was like, with Tokyo Toe, we know that right now Tokyo Toe has been known to not have the strongest leg, but coach just said you don't necessarily have to have the strongest leg, and he did say something about a dirty ball. The dirty ball is a kick that makes it uncomfortable for the opponent's return. So if Tokyo Toe can kick the ball and make it dirty, or make it tough for the opponent to catch, then he might have more of an opportunity. So definitely this coach is looking at that now. Black, I'm gonna ask you this, does he look like he used to smoke Pall Malls,
Or he chew some dip? For sure, he got the Paul Mall pack or something. He looked like he don't play. He said, how people buy Swishers nowadays for the you feel me? He smoked the Swisher without the you feel me in it.
He smoked the Swisher just to smoke the Swisher. You know what I'm saying?
Right. For real, like he looked like he don't play for real. He was like he the one of them coaches that'll hit you with the little card. Like, we only got one play. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he don't play, man.
Cole's leadership, being located and been there for a long time, not just only getting the guys acclimated, but pushing them on the field.
Well, I think AJ Cole is a guy that's definitely underappreciated around the league. He's a guy that I think deserves to be a leader, and what we try to tell the specialist is, even though you're not out there practicing 100% every single time, those guys have got to see you doing uncommon things. So when he's in the weight room working, and when he's doing things as far as in tackling drills and stuff like that, and they see the leadership, and he's just a really, really good person, a really, really good player, and a really, really good leader.
So how does Malik have in the return game?
You saw the speed in college, and obviously, coming from college, I did see a little bit more of. There's not a lot of great punters, and what he's going to have to show us is he's going to be able to catch an NFL punt, which is a lot different than a college punt, in my opinion. So that's going to be where it's at. But I mean, he's got playmaking ability. He's tough. He puts his head in there, and I'm excited to have the guy for sure.
Your thoughts on Jermod as a punt returner? He's so quick.
Yeah, no question. Hopefully we can get that. We didn't see that in spring because he wasn't able to practice as much. He did have one today that looked good in that drill. So hopefully we can get him going, because he's definitely going to be a plus if we can get him out on the field for sure.
Yeah, pause that.
Hey? Yeah, I already did. Go ahead, bro.
Pause that. Hey, I gotta ask you, Black. Look, Jamar McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want him to ever do returns? I'm just saying, like, I know. Look, hey, he's a rookie. I know, he got to earn his. He got to earn his keep. You know what I'm saying? I feel all that, but with his health concern and what we're really asking for him to be or our majority of our idea. I think I kind of speak for most people in Raider Nation that we think that Jamon McCoy should be opposite side of Stokes. We believe that he's that type of corner. So do we want to risk that by putting him on special teams? Because again, special teams is still special teams. You can still get lit up on special teams. What say you, bro? Because right now I'm not good with that at all. I don't even want him to try it out at this point. Let's get him all the way healthy first before we switch over to him being Deion Sanders.
Okay, so here's my thing. When I first saw him back there, I thought maybe it was just get a football feel of things, to keep him active without having him be in all the drills. Now, hearing that, I have to think, okay, this is a serious, legitimate thing. Do I have a problem with a rookie doing it? No, not at all. Rookies usually do it because they can't start, so you want to put him on the field. And if he's a playmaker, you never know what might happen. So you can earn your way through special teams, which tells me a lot of people have slotted him already as a starting corner, comparing him to Woodson and everything, right? So my thing is this. He can earn his way on the field through special teams too. He's not exempt to this. And as far as the special team aspect of him doing it and getting injured, you can't play football scared or cautious, should I say. You can't. So he based on what I've studied about his injury, he's good to go. So we only want to bring him back slowly because he hasn't played a year, and also we want to preserve him as long as possible. So with that being said, is you get him a chance to be effective in the game. Now, as far as the dangers, I think it's more dangerous playing corner than it is kickoff return and punt return. Because usually if you get hit really hard on punt return, it's usually up here. And then plus you can fair catch the ball or whatnot. Now, kickoff return is a little bit different. Even in that, you don't really get hit low in the knee, but that'll hurt any player no matter what's wrong with your knee, if anything wrong with your knee. I just think that I'm coming around to the fact just recently, right now, thinking that that's a good idea. Go ahead and put him out there. Let's not be scared. Let's go ahead and or overly cautious and let the boy ball. Because if we're trying to pick every spot like a chess game, then I don't know. It's kind of like we're playing too cautious. So hey, we expect him to play. We expect him to practice, like Coach Kubiak said. So we're not gonna when he's on the actual field itself, then we're gonna treat you just like every other player because we knew the risk. You knew the risk. We're trying to ball out with it. So I'm fine with it at this point.
Okay.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think in the chat? What's good with Alfredo? Go ahead, bro.
No, I just feel like, if we go, just in my opinion, I think that if we want to maximize where he is right now, like I'd rather just maximize his abilities right now at corner. I think we got, when we look at this roster, I think we have far more than enough people that can return the ball than to risk somebody, coming off a serious, injury concern to, to special teams. That's
I think. I think punt return he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine doing punt return. Punt return is probably all the special teams are dangerous, but I think out of the ones I would say punt return is probably the least because you can at least fair catch the ball, and I think they're just trying to get him on the field, get him acclimated back to playing football again. That's what I think the line of thinking is.
And on your to add to your, because again I try to see both sides of every story, but to your point, they're also trying to help him mentally, right? So if he used to play special teams, and you give him a couple of kicks and he can return it, or whatever, you're also giving them confidence and saying, yeah, you're back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can cut, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can, you know what I'm saying, do, you know what I'm saying, all those movements you need to do to play the game. So it might be also a confidence booster at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it for sure. Here we go. Raider Nation 5, nickel and dime. What's good with you, brethren? It says Masses, cornerback 3. Oh, okay, Stokes is 1, Porter 2, Masses 3, DCAM 4. You don't have him in there? You don't have J Mac in there, Jermad? Where does he fit? And what do you think about that lineup at that corner? Because that says Porter starting.
I mean, hey, he is the senior, so he should be. But again, remember, Porter is coming from being a fresh corner. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't played corner his whole career. You know what I'm saying? He's a wide receiver convert. So, but he is the senior. He's already had a year under his belt. He should be beating out the rookies that are coming in. But you know, the word is that Masses is definitely he's been taking advantage of his opportunities.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not seeing Porter start. I'm not seeing that. He's a freak of an athlete because even for them to actually to make that transition, because Turner is harder than wide receiver. And
Facts.
so for him to make that transition or them asking or giving the opportunity to, they do have, I'm sure they got some wiggle room for him to make mistakes. But yeah, I think for him, it all depends on how well he plays in practice. Because like you said, Masses is taking masses. He's taking all the opportunity to make his name ring. So now all he has to do is close the book on it by what Coach Kubiak said. Can you tackle? If he go out there and make business decisions and make tackles, then I'm not seeing Porter beating Masses. And speaking of business decision, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button because if you like content of breakdowns, not just fluff, just straight lace, no chase, then me and majority 99% of my guests is going to be that way. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, and same thing with Raider Twuan as well. Great question. Great question. Let's get back to drill sergeant.
I've seen Trey take a lot of the punts as well. What do you see from his game that is really?
Now that's what I have a problem with. Maybe Trey Tucker taking returns, not because of injury, but just because we have a bunch of guys that could do it. So Trey Tucker, I kind of have an issue with because once you been in the league for a while, you probably shouldn't be doing special teams. Like I mean, like kick return or punt return or something like that.
He's a, and when I say he's a return guy, I'm talking about he's a return guy in the sense that he's been doing return. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. His past years, and the reason why he's been that is because depth chart wise, he's always been like either the third, you know what I'm saying, second or third, you know, wide receiver. He's never really been in like a lead wide receiver role for us. You know what I'm saying? There's always been like a Jacoby Myers or somebody else like ahead of him. So you do special teams if you're the third wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, I think he's elevated himself, and I think he's either possibly the number one wide receiver or he's possibly the number two wide receiver. However you want to play it out, it could be Tucker or it could be Nailor. Whoever you pick, that's on you. So because he's a 1 or 2 now, I would feel like you said I'd rather have, you know what I'm saying, like Benson do it, or I'd rather have, you know, one of the young bucks, you know what I'm saying, take over for that. So but again, that was what he used to do last year, but he was a third, possibly fourth wide receiver for his last year. So we'll see how they do that, because most of the time if you're like the number one or number two of your group, usually you're, you know, they kind of let you sit.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not opposed to him taking reps though, because if you put one of them young guys back there and they drop the punter or don't
Yeah.
know when the fair catch and all that, and then you have to throw him in the game, you don't want to be in a situation where he ain't having caught punts in all off season, and and then start trying to work it in when his hands gonna be full at wide receiver one.
I think that's I think that might be, and I'm just trying to read, just try to understand where they possibly are going. It's like they're letting everybody that used to do it, let's teach you how we want you guys to do it, and then we'll strategically place who we want to really use. Because again, it might be, as early as it might be Benson's job, but if Benson starts messing up, then head coach might be like, forget it, Trey, go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Trey, go ahead,
yeah,
go ahead and do this. I know you know how to do it. Go ahead and take care of this for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? Until
yeah,
Benson gets it together next week. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that might be the situations they're letting everybody, go through the process. So when game day, they'll have some options. There some backups. You know what I'm saying? If they
yeah,
need to go to them situation.
yeah. Absolutely, I agree.
Impressive.
Say it again.
We've seen Trey Tucker take a lot of those punts and return them, and he might be returning with the ball already. But what have you seen from his game that has impressed you?
Yeah, that's a competition also, right? I mean, that's all those guys are going to get reps. What we want is Trey to be comfortable back there catching as much as he can, right? And then the other part about that is all those guys have got to get used to what we call returner mechanics, right? Everybody thinks it's just how you catch a punt, but it's also I got to make the right decision. So that's what all of them are going to be doing right now.
Another competition with the snappers. I know Alex has done it for a while. Tyler seems to have a lot of athleticism to him. I guess, what do you look for in that battle?
Yeah, that's accuracy on snaps. That's how they do in pressure situations. Protection's a huge thing that Alex did not have to do as much in college as Tyler didn't do as much in college as he does now. So it's going to be a battle throughout, and those guys really need to get tested. We need to find the right guy and find the right guy fast.
Hayward gets a lot of talk as a great fullback, running back, tight end, but a little underrated in special teams. What do you like about him as a special teams guy?
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that there's not many. If you asked everybody on this team, hey, man, how many guys have blocked punts? There's maybe 2 or 3 guys on the whole team that have blocked a punt in an NFL game, and he's one of them. So that's good to have. And then he's just been a great sounding board for the young guys too, because he's already showed them how to work, how to do things the right way. So really, really pleased with him.
You worked with Matt previously, a couple years separated. Is there any way that you've seen him grow? Now you're reuniting with him here at the Raiders.
Yeah, he's been
Great
hitting the ball
question.
really well today. Obviously we had a 2-minute. It was a longer field goal. One of my biggest things that I like to say is closer is better. We had a lot of penalties in that 2-minute period and backed him up, and we didn't hit the ball we needed to hit right there. So we'd like to get that one over. But other than that, I mean, he's had a great offseason, a great camp so far. We just got to keep him in the right groove and hopefully get him back to where he was when I had him in LA.
Matt A with the G being silent. Because the other day I heard he made all his kicks in Tokyo miss one. Now in this period, when they have penalties where it backed them up, where it's a very real thing, because sometimes that penalty can hurt you, and then you have to back it up and then kick it again. It's even more pressure. So you got to be able to hit that. You got to be able to hit that, even if you miss one that they know you should be able to make, and you probably would make 8 out of 10 times. So when those little small micro situations, those are like game-like situations. That's why they put you in those situations. And if you don't hit those, like he said, we hope we can get him back to when I had it. You know what I'm saying? Not what we've been seeing, but we brought him in because of the familiarity. But hey, it's a competition, so you better go get that manicure or that pedicure. I mean, and get that toenail sharpened, because it's a battle.
Okay, to get a roster spot for Kansei, he's in the competition, so he's got to, do a great job there. But the great thing about his situation is, in the international part of it, there might be an extra spot for him depending upon how it is. So hopefully he can show enough, which, knock on wood, I hope he keeps showing what he's showing right now, and hopefully we get a chance to keep him at the end of camp, which would be great.
Would you say Kansei is pushing Matt Gay.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a legitimate competition.
Weak in the return alignment this year on the kickoff rule, but it's kind of new for you anyway, right? Coming from college, so
Yeah, they say that though, but I was in a league for about 35. This is my 35th training camp, 35 years in a league. So a lot of times when they put that rule in, I was in a lot of those meetings to put that rule in. So I've seen it before. I had a bunch of NFL coaches, head coaches call me, "Hey, Joe D, what would you do with this play?" And at that time when I was in college, I told them, "You guys figure it out." But we've done a lot of work on it, and I think having Marquise here is going to obviously help. So that'll be great. But formationally, there are some things that they did differently, taking a couple more guys off the ball. You just really, it's a different play than what the old kickoff was because it happens so much faster. So getting off of blocks, getting onto blocks, and then having the right track as a returner is really, really important in this play.
What's wrong with your coach, Twuan?
Hey, I can hang out with this dude, dog. Hey, look, hit me up on IG. I know you probably got a burner account. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on IG. Look, we can have some burgers. You know what I'm saying? I like this dude for real. Me and him can hang out. You know what I'm saying? He can get a real beer. You know what I'm saying? I might just go ahead and give me an old dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get a root beer.
Yeah.
you were able to deflect the question when you were in college, I guess. But
Oh yeah, everybody said y'all figure it out.
what do you think of it? Do you like what it's done for the game?
Oh yeah, I love it because that's part of the reason I went to college. Because at that time we were kicking every ball out of the end zone. So now instead of having 35 plays a game in the kicking game, you eliminate 10 plays, and that's frustrating. I don't like to just sit there and kick the ball off in the end zone and go, oh yeah, that's great. I mean that's not what football is in my opinion. You get better at blocking and tackling when you do that. So a lot of the young guys that are out there are going to get better as football players.
We've experienced a lot of training camps. Klint is now going through his first one. What have you seen from him and his leadership in kind of running a tight operation?
Yeah, I think what you said is the tight operation. He's that guy's all business. I mean, that's just. I think our team has taken that over too. Like when you look at it, it's a business type atmosphere, but the guys are still having fun. So that's hard to accomplish, and I think he's doing that right now. He's been unbelievably organized. I couldn't be more impressed with him right now from what he's done so far. But obviously, we're all in the honeymoon stage, and we're all 0-0, and we got to get going from there.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
The realest. Joey D. Joe. Ain't that what his name? Joe DeCamillis? Yeah, Joey D. Joey the realest. Joey the realest. That's what he is.
Hey, that's the new name, dog. Joey the realest, for real.
Yeah, Joey the realest.
Thank y'all.
He look like he about to go kick something right now.
Right. He got about somebody in mind that he got to have a conversation with. You know what I'm saying?
Right now. Like if he the type of coach, no lie. He the type of coach when you see him walking down the hall,
clear out.
you know he probably gonna say something to you. So you might as well don't even try to walk by him hella fast or act like you don't see him. Because as soon as you bend that corner, he gonna call you, and he got one of them voices that go around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like the parents that call your name and they don't call you more than twice because you better come running that second time, even if you didn't hear it that first time. He one of them coaches. So I'm very impressed with him. Let's see. I'm glad we.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we listen to him first, so let's see if some of these other special teams, players got something to say about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Man.
He read his keys the right way. He was in the right spot. Put his foot in the ground when the quarterback's hand come off the ball, and the rest was his. Throughout camp, he's been doing a great job playing both nickel and safety, and excited where he's at. Really excited to see what happens when the pads come on for him.
Terran was working a lot with the safety today. Obviously, what's the role that you see for Terran?
Just his versatility. He's played a little bit of safety in his career, not much. So getting him as comfortable as possible with that, and just to allow his versatility to show, because he has all the mechanics, all the body movements that we like to play closer to the line of scrimmage or back. So just getting him comfortable, and then letting his talent shine, because he's a playmaker in this league, has been for a long time, and expect him to make plays for us like you guys saw the other day.
What's been your impressions of Traden Stukes so far in camp?
He's doing.
Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to do that. But that I got excited because I've been saying that I haven't heard anything about him. And they said that people have been saying that they've been hearing things. So I'm really wanting to hear what they say about Stoops.
And expect a lot of guys to play a lot of snaps.
One of the major themes for his second.
All the other day.
What's been your impressions of Traden Stukes so far in camp?
He's doing well. As a rookie with, handling the amount of install that we have and putting it in a new defense, it can be a lot, but he's a smart kid, and he's taken to it. He's picked it up well. For him moving forward, it's just about like trusting his keys, trusting his eyes, and now going out and making plays and letting his talent shine. So I don't want to slow him down, but picking up the install, and I just can't wait to see how he progresses. And with the preseason coming up, expect to see a lot of him and watch him go out there and make plays.
So what you think about that? The first things I've heard about Stoops, and it seems like he's coming right along the way they want him to. Like, he's understanding what he needs to do now. Trust what it is. So play at 100 miles an hour. What you think?
I think, to be honest, there's a few things. There's, I kind of go back to what, what Spytek said in regards to Stoops, like when they drafted him. Like they had in mind that Stoops is going to be a starter. You know what I'm saying? They're like, he's going to be a starter for us. Like that's what they're earmarking this guy to be. And it seems like everybody that has ran into him or, has been around him has said something in that vein. So I think Stoops is, he's quietly, getting his work done, but people are noticing that he's actually putting his work in. Now with the secondary coach, I ain't gonna lie to you. If we ain't got the situation opposite side of Stokes, we might need to throw the coach in there because he looked like he can cover something. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he can mess around and run some drills with our secondary. So yeah, I think everybody so far has been pleased with Stooks. And I mean that's exactly what Spytek wanted from him is a starter.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you there.
The benefit to having so many guys in that secondary who can move, whether play safety or they can move to the nickel. Even you see Chin, he can do safety, linebacker. What's the versatility in that room? What do you think is the benefits of that?
Well, just the offense not being able to, to know what type of packages we're going to be in, what type of coverage, blitz packages, whatever. The more guys, the more pieces that are versatile, it allows us to be multiple. Yeah.
His neck is big,
One of the major themes for his secondary has been just how many rookies are in it. For safeties, it's Traden, Dalton, Tanner. They've all gotten snaps. What's the challenge of getting a young group going at this point?
Well, really just, getting everybody reps. Really we have a deep room and expect a lot of guys are competing to play. And expect a lot of guys to play a lot of snaps for us. So just it's a challenge to work them in, but they're good their time, especially come game time, in the preseason to let's see what they can do. And when the bullets are flying and the lights are on, like let's see who shows up.
What has been your overall thoughts on the depth of that secondary? Just the young guys buying in, a lot of guys have ball skills and have production as well. What do you thought?
I mean, it's a highly competitive group, and that's what you want. You want the young guys to push the older guys because you don't want anybody to be comfortable, anybody to be complacent because, well, we're trying to all arrow up and be ascending. We don't want guys kind of, thinking they've arrived and they got it, even between Terran, Zay, and, Chin, vets in this league. But, they know the young guys are coming. So it makes them have to be on top of their game at all times. And I love the leadership from that group. And so, just excited where we're at.
Talk about the young guys coming in, and a veteran like Zay has been here a while. How's he kind of reacted to that pressure? How's he handled it, the competition?
It's great. They're all those three guys. They're pros. I love their approach. In the room, they're coaching up the young guys. They want to be coached. They're allowing me to coach them hard. So I'm pleasantly, I'm happy with how they're doing. And, Zay, he's a great communicator out there for us and kind of putting the roof on the defense, getting guys lined up, calming it down if anything ever gets kind of hairy. So like where he's at.
Has been
Telling y'all, a lot of people counting out Isaiah Palomalo. They're counting him out. And communication, if that's his strong suit, they're going to put him in the right position in the right packages to not get burned like he was last year. They put him in a lot of compromising positions last year to have very little experience at free safety. So now that he doesn't have that looming over his head, he can be more himself. And I think to see more of him, because he almost had 100 tackles last year if not had 100 tackles last year. But it just, it just didn't look good. So the optics didn't look good. The eye test wasn't he didn't rate that high on the eye test. So I'm looking forward for him to have a big year. What you think about Palomalo?
I mean, I hope he does. He's in a situation where he could be in or he could be out, and that's I think that's the pressure that Spytex has put on the situation with Stukes and Dalton Johnson, but in the safety room. So he better. There's talent there. I'm not saying that Palomalo ain't talented. I think he has to be in the right position, and I think again, there is pressure behind him in regards to the safeties.
No, yeah, he definitely has pressure, and because he could end up being an odd man out.
And one of the primary ones responsible for covering Brock Bowers in camp so far. Just what's so difficult about how he is as a receiver to guard?
He's challenging. He's a bigger body, and he's smooth at the top of the route. And that's where tight ends in this league kind of get an advantage because they're not, the defense is at the disadvantage, because they're nudging, and that's where they're allowed to create space. And that's all you need. All you need is a little bit of space. And, you put it on Brock, he's going to catch it. So, it's a challenge for us. There's a lot of other great tight ends in this league, great slot receivers that we're going to have to cover at times. So it's great work for us here, and we just got to continue to, get better at it.
What is the main attitude you would say that is in that secondary right now? What are the guys feeling?
I think they're just feeling the pressure of we got to play fast, we got to play aggressive, but we got to know what to do and be disciplined in the back end so the ball doesn't go over our heads. But we got to be able to trust our eyes and then go make plays because this league is all about the ball. If you take the football away, one, you make yourself some money, all right, and then you win games because of the turnover ratio.
Okay.
He's in this role for the first time as a DC. What have you seen from him as a guy kind of running the show now?
His leadership, has been great. I think, his messaging a lot always follows style of play above all else. And that's why I'm super excited to see these guys in pads because now Underwear Olympics is over and now we can go play some real football and, hear the click-clack tomorrow. And especially as DBs, everybody thinks interceptions, picks, PBUs, but you're going to be in a position to block destruction and tackling way more than you will be, making, true plays on the ball. You're going to have more tackles than you were picks in PBU. So, that messaging of like style of play and being a physical defense. And hey, when you come out here, everybody's expected to tackle. Everybody's expected to go smash stuff. So, excited.
I said the Underwear Olympics.
Right.
Good guys. All right, thank you.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right.
You could tell.
Look how fast he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say he looked like he could line up in the secondary. Like if we got some issues, we might just go ahead and need to give him a jersey.
Man, for real. He got up out of there too. Get up out of there. All right, let's get to the players now. Our coaches, we got competent coaches looking like. Yeah. I know one thing. They need to spend a little bit of money in their media room because they sound like they're in the basement. Always hearing everything in the background, reverbing off the
He's
walls.
Klint mentor.
Okay, here we go.
There's a
The Tokyo Toe.
Make sure you guys hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mean. Go ahead and double tap that screen.
Yep, I'm ready.
What has this whole experience been like for you being here at NFL training camp?
Oh, it's so amazing. I dreamed of playing in NFL 7 years ago, and then my dream come true. But there's a lot of things going on, and I want to do better. I want to be a great player. So it's been amazing, but I feel like this is the first step of my new journey. Yeah.
What's it been like working with Matt too? And you guys are pushing each other as well.
Matt is an amazing guy, and I'm so happy to work with him. And he's a great mentor, and I'm so grateful to have a veteran kicker like him. And he has tons of experience in NFL. Great kicker, obviously, and competition is amazing. Yeah.
Is there a message you'd like to share for your fans in Japan that are inspired by your story to the NFL?
Yeah, definitely. Just not being to the NFL player. My journey is a little unique and different, and I just want to inspire all people, not even Japan, in the world. It's nothing too late, and then you have motivation and work ethic. You can make it to at the top level. So if I can do it, and I think everybody can do it. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I love what we got going on, but you ain't in the NFL yet, brother. You ain't in there yet. You ain't in there yet. You ain't in there yet. So, I want you to make it.
Said that you're way ahead of what he was when he entered the NFL. Coming from where you came from and the journey you had, what does it mean to you to hear somebody as established as Matt say that about you as a rookie?
Sorry, can you say that again? Sorry. Yeah.
Matt had said that you were way ahead of what he felt like he was when he came into the league. And coming from where you came from and the journey you had, what does it mean to you to hear a guy who's established as him say that about you?
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's grateful. And I think just I have a good routine, work ethic, and then I just trust my process, and then that's what I focus on in college. So gotta be elite level in NFL. So I'm working on better routine. Obviously, I gotta take care of my body well, and then just I think it's been amazing so far. Yeah.
What was the biggest transition has been for you from the college game to the NFL so far?
I haven't played an NFL game yet, so I think pretty much same, honestly, but there's more attention for sure. But at the end of the day, I got to focus on myself. I got to focus on my process, and got to be elite with my routine. So there's a lot of things going on outside, but being able to focusing on myself is, I think, most important thing.
When you went to San Diego and did your training before training camp, what was that? What was the biggest takeaways you had from that? How much did that help you?
Yes, kicking was with Coach Novak.
Yeah, in San Diego, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been working with him after my college season. So it's almost 5 months, and he's been really great coach. He gave me I asked him a lot of questions. I think I showed my consistency during the college, but at the same time, I feel I got to be a better player in NFL, and I got to have more distance. I got to show my great height at the line of scrimmage. And so I was working with him last 5 months, and it's been really good. And also Coach Joe and Coach Marquise and Tim helped me a lot since I got here, and I'm so happy to working with great coaches and great player like Matt and AJ. Yeah.
I felt that you discovered I went to a football game with the Raiders to start, and that was kind of what opened up your NFL journey. Mm-hmm. What does it mean for you to have that moment come full circle?
Yeah, definitely, it's a full circle moment, and then it's so beautiful. I I went to a Raiders game 2018. That was my first NFL game. Monday night, Raiders lost the game, but I've been like influenced by players, teams, and the fans. And Raiders always has like great fan base, and I was so excited to cheering the players up together. But now I'm on the like a player side, so it's really excited to me.
What have you worked on the most since you got here that perhaps you didn't have to work on as much when you were in college?
Sorry,
What have you worked on the most as far as your kicking and your game?
Yep.
Perhaps you didn't have to work on as much when you were in college.
Oh, definitely. Like my consistency is the most important thing in college. Hawaii is really windy, and so like I talked to my special teams coordinator, Coach Sheffield, and then let's make perfect inside the 40, and then at the same time, 40 to 50-yard line is gonna be like really crucial in college. Like we don't kick like much 55+ yard field goal. So just focus on like making those field goals. So just focusing on like my consistency and doing the same thing every time. And then that was the thing I focused on like a lot. Yeah.
All right, last.
Yeah, that's what one thing I stress about him is they don't usually kick long field goals like that in college. And so to hear him say that as a point of emphasis, that's good. I mean, he's paying attention to that detail. So I'm hearing that from him. But the one thing that really stood out to me, like he was saying, he kicked in Hawaii and it's really windy. And I was concerned about his ability to kick in the elements. I mean, we play in a dome, but we need special teams really show up on the road
Right.
a lot. And so you go to places like we have a few East Coast games this year. So I was concerned about how he's going to be able to handle the elements. So being that he does have some experience in that kind of subsides, the stressors of that. So I'm glad to hear that about that part of his kicking journey. So that's good. I'm feeling good about it. We just got to see if he can get that ball up, like he said, because from 40 to 50. You got to get the ball up in the air because if it takes off low, it's going to get blocked.
Right. The longer the kick, the lower the projection. You know what I'm saying? So he has to learn how to master getting it up on the longer kicks, and he's probably doing that along with the strength and conditioning to get him stronger. You know what I'm saying, to be able to kick those longer kicks. But along with the strength, you still have to work on that accuracy. So,
right.
He's working. It sounds like he's working. He even going to other people to go get help outside of the facilities to get his game together. So, that's all you can ask at as somebody in this situation is, you may not necessarily have it right now, but are you doing all you can to work it out?
Here, Levi.
I know you and Tyler Bazuki, the long snapper, you guys have spent a lot of time together. What has that relationship been like? But also, how cool is it to be in the same situation with someone that's also competing for that starting role, kind of like yourself?
Yeah, I met him like at the combine like this year, and he's a great guy. And then we were like rookie here, and then I'm so grateful to have like him. And he's like his work ethic, his routine and fundamental has been amazing. And we are coming like here together in the morning, and then we just like wake up 4:30 morning and then come here together and just keep each other up. So yeah, it's been grateful to have like him. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, you follow me this way.
Yep.
All right, Japanese.
What you think about the toenail, the Tokyo tsunami?
I'm with it, dog. It's a competition, like the coach said, and he's trying to compete, doing the best he can to make the roster, and that's for me, that's all I can ask at him is do the best you can and work as hard as you can.
Yeah. D Menace, what's good with you, my brother, my brother, my brother? Shout out to D Menace. You know what I'm talking about. Member in the group. So appreciate you for coming in. The world's best. Look on right on point. The best mod in this Raider sphere, in this Raiders verse. It's D Menace. And that name, I just love that name. You know, if you don't have no comments in your section, you're gonna see something from D Menace. Straight up. You're gonna see something from him. So shout out to him, man, for all you do. I appreciate you more than you know, brother. All right. Let's put the nail in the coffin. Speedy Nailor. You're always cutting grass.
Jalen, Trey Tucker the other day described Kirk Cousins like a old head dad type of vibes. You know, you being around him longer than you, like, would you describe the same thing? Would you describe that?
Absolutely, man. You know, Kirk's an older guy, and he tries to stay hip with the younger generation. So, you know, he still has his dad moments, though his dad jokes out there. But, you know, just having that kind of guy in the locker room, it means a lot because he's done so much in this league, and we can just build up on our team from him. Just saying, just going on what he says. You know, he's done this plenty of times. You know, he's a winning quarterback, so. This thing that he says, you know, we got to pay attention to what he's saying and really hone in on that type of stuff and just be a complete team.
And see, that's why I said that the difference between bringing in a rookie and someone like a Kirk Cousins, not just any veteran, although there's benefits to bringing in veterans, because if you're in the league 10 years, when the average is like 4 maybe, there's something to say, regardless of where your status is. But then when you have someone that's accomplished as Kirk is, the team can breathe a little bit because it's already a high stress environment. Kubiak, he already said, he says it often that he put these guys in stressful situations for the reasoning that when the game gets stressful, it's not stressful you're out there just playing naturally. And so to have somebody like Kirk Cousins that where you can breathe a little bit, that does a lot for your team. It doesn't show up in a stat because people like to throw around stats. I like to back up my takes with stats and stuff too, but like I say, stats tell a story, not the story. And to hear this from Speedy Nailor, it's good to know because that confidence and that comfortability is gonna come and it's gonna pay off, whether people understand that or not.
With him really kind of just come right back, and how have you seen him grow since your years apart?
Absolutely, man. You know, we had those first 2 years in Minnesota, and coming back here now is just, you know, he said he's going to lean on me a little bit, just knowing that we had that connection. So I feel like it's been building each and every day.
What's your impression of Fernando's command of the offense so far, and how have you kind of helped him? Have you given him any advice through this process?
I mean, he's taking total command of the offense. You know, it's not like he's going out there for the first time. You know, he's under control. You know, he's speaking very loudly, very clearly, so everybody can hear the call. Just things that you need in a quarterback in a huddle. And he's just growing each and every day, and just seeing that progress from the first day he got here and just to now, just the total command of the offense, of the playbook, and just being himself and just playing ball.
Do you feel that you guys need to establish kind of like a hierarchy and like the roles in that way, or do you think the collective effort is kind of something that can be effective for this team?
Definitely the collective effort can be effective for us because, you know, we're a team. It's not an individual game. You know, every guy on the field has to do their job to make things work. And no matter who's in there, man, we expect the same thing from the ones all the way down to the rookies. You know, we want guys in there that's going to go out there and compete and play their lights out.
Brock make a ton of plays so far in camp. Just how does having him on the inside help the receiver group?
I mean, it makes it easier for us, man. You know, just having that single coverage, knowing that Brock's gonna draw much attention to him. It allows us, me, Trey, Jag, all the receivers, just to go out there and just play free and just play fast and just win on one-on-one battles.
A couple of days ago, Trey Tucker said about the receiver room that we don't want the receiver room where everybody's doing the same stuff. We want to be a big variety of guys. So you come into this room, what do you think is the thing that separates you, the thing that you do differently compared to the rest of the offense?
I feel like I'm a total complete receiver. You know, I can do things on the outside, do things on the inside, run game, pass game. I feel like I can do it all. I can run the whole route tree, things like that. So it's just a matter of me being a leader of the room and just try to bring as many guys along with me as possible. No, I think I've been doing that a little bit, but I could definitely do way better. And you get to where we want to be as a receiver room.
You mentioned the team as a whole wanting to do well in the receiver room, but new team for yourself. Are you seeing this as a big opportunity in which you can really shine and make a name for yourself on a new team?
I mean, I'm not looking at it as like I'm trying to make the best opportunity for myself. You know, I'm here for the team. You know, I want to win games. I want to win a Super Bowl. So it's a matter of just doing what I got to do when the play is called and just make plays when they're called upon me, and just have that confidence in the guys. You know, if guys dropping balls, things like that, just be there to pick them up and just be a leader, man. Just try to be a role model to these guys.
We've seen Hezekiah Masters lined up across from you a couple of times. What have you thought about the young man?
Oh, he's a terrific player. You know, he's long. He plays with his length, so that suits him well, and he can run. So just having that type of stuff from a young cornerback, man, it's very promising for us and for his future. You know, he's a great player. He's humble, quiet guy. You know, he just goes out there and just plays ball.
What was it like going back to doing what's best for the team? It seems like everybody in different rooms has that same mentality. How important is that, considering there are a lot of newer veterans on this team, a lot of young guys as well, to have that so early on?
It's very important because it's a team sport. So you can't go out there thinking like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. It's more so, what do we got to do as a team to get this play done and move in a positive direction? Just keep that type of mindset going. Just always thinking positive on what we can do better.
What was it like having fans on your
I love it. I love when fans are at practice, you know, just have that kind of that energy. You know, I feel like football players, we feed off that energy from the fans. Just having them out there, man, it's just a blast just to see them in there and just rooting us on, even though it's for practice.
Played for Klint before in Minnesota, but now
I did not.
Oh,
I did not.
What have you seen from him, you know, in his first training camp and coming back out?
Just his intensity, you know, the attention to detail, to everything that goes in offense, defense, special teams. You know, he's very in tune with the details, the little things. And as we watch film, you know, it's the little things that's getting us beat on certain plays. So just focusing on those little things that he's preaching, and it's gonna take care of itself.
Sure, would you say that Klint Kubiak is establishing so far, just as a whole with the team?
Just a team first basis. You know, we're not an individual team. You know, we always want to express ourselves as we Raiders, you know, things like that. So we never want to put just our individual self in the spotlight. You know, it's never one guy. If a guy makes a play, you know, it's not just he just made the play. You know, it's all 10 other guys made the play as well. So it's a matter of just honing in on being all about the team.
Really impressive.
I like
what have you
that.
thought overall of just the Klint Kubiak offense and the way he wants to attack defenses?
Oh, I love it. I mean, he wants to attack no matter what. If we're up, down, winning by 30, losing by 30, you know, he always wants to be in attack mode. Now, I really love that about his offense. You know, we always want to keep our foot on the gas.
Hyping up the other guys. When Trey talked about Malik, he kind of just lit up. He couldn't stop raving about him. So have you kind of had the same experience with Malik?
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's a young kid. You know, he has a ways to go, but you know, he's asking questions. He's asking the right questions. You know, he wants to be better. He wants to play. He wants to be on this team. He wants to show himself. So just having that type of mindset as a young rookie, it means a lot. Just for me, just have him asking questions to me. Just it shows that he cares. You know, and I care as well. So I want to give him all the pointers that I can with whatever he's asking.
Yeah, I'm liking that we, not me mentality. I'm really appreciating that. What's up with you, Dirty?
Hey, what's up, Dirty, man? What's good with you, fam? No, I like that he's talking about me, you know, not me, but we. You know what I'm saying? He
right.
And this is, again, like I said earlier, this is one of the guys that is possibly the number one wide receiver, right? Whether you think it's him or you think it's Trey Tucker. So if you believe that he's the number one wide receiver, or whether you think he's the number 2 wide receiver, and he's preaching you know what I'm saying? He's setting the tone for everybody else in that room. You know what I'm saying? If the 1 and 2, and we know what time Trey Tucker's on, you know what I'm saying? Like Trey Tucker's been on the we bus, you know what I'm saying? So if those 2 guys are preaching we in that wide receiver room, then there's no room for divas. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
There's no room for divas.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was bar right there.
That's the Raider gospel. You know what I'm saying? When the top in leadership is it, what Dante Thornton can say? You know what I'm saying? He ain't got room to be a diva when the 1 and 2 is already preaching Jack Best. You know what I'm saying? I like Jack Best, but he can't walk around talking about me. When your leaders are talking so I like that.
Yeah, me too.
All good, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, the other thing about the that I love was when he said if someone's gets a first down, it's not them getting a first down. It's all 10. You know what I'm saying? It's all it's all all 11 that got the first down. So I love that mentality that it's not, oh, I got the yardage. You know what I'm saying? No, we got the yardage.
Yeah, and our wide receivers are in shape. Our wide receivers are in shape because they're going to have to block. That's one thing I stressed about this Kubiak offense is that you have to be able to block. I believe he's the one that said no block, no rock. And I stress the ability to block can keep you on the field a long time because a lot of receivers like, well, I'm not getting the ball, so I'm gonna just half do it, So at the same time, to see these receivers prioritizing that tells me that our team is buying in or totally buying or bought in already with that concept. And if that's in the forefront of your mind, then that also reinforces that we mentality and not that me mentality. All right, let's go to the last kicker. They say the best for last, man. Let's see.
You guys, make sure you guys hit that like button as we going along. If you guys have not, go ahead and subscribe to both channels, Business Decision Sports and also your boy Raider Twuan.
Most important question, Aiden's hair. Did you influence that, or what's going on?
He's never been more handsome. Looks incredible.
I told y'all he's looking like a quarterback.
So Matt said that you and he were together at the East-West Shrine game, and he says you're pretty much the same as you were back then. What do you remember about him from your time spent with him?
Yeah, I just remember how professional he approached everything. At that point in my career, you haven't spent much time around other kickers and other punters. In college, you just kind of work with the guys that you work with. In the NFL, you have an opportunity to kind of cross-train a little bit more. And so I was just really impressed with how professional he is about everything, how serious he takes everything, his mindset, his approach. The mental side of the game is obviously huge for specialists. And I think he was tapped into that pretty early in his career before he even hit the pros.
What are the challenges for you? You've got a kicker battle and a long snapper battle going on. You're kind of integral to both of those. What has it been like for you to go through that while you're trying to prepare for the season as well yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Just in general, we're just all trying to get as good as we can get. And I think that the rising tide raises all boats. And so, I think that it would be easy to look at this as, oh, this is a competition. This is a competition. How's this guy doing? How's that guy doing? But I think that as a position group, we're just all trying to be as good as we can be every single day. And so we're trying to look at it as more of a collaborative effort rather than two guys pitted against each other. And it's difficult to do that, especially as you start to play preseason games and as camp kind of goes on. I think it's a little bit easier to do that during OTAs, no question. But as much as we can do that as possible, I think it just helps us to look at it as all of us trying to hone our craft as best we can so that whatever happens on cut day or as the season goes along, we're all prepared for the season.
They want different holds. And I guess how tough is that to go back and forth from their preferred hold?
Yeah, I'd say in the beginning that they did. And Kansei has kind of more gone into the way that Matt likes it, which is easier on me. Otherwise you kind of have to do like the car preset where you have like driver number 1 and driver number 2. You kind of have to like lock yourself into that mindset, which I was having to do a little bit during OTAs. But right now we're just driver preset number 1.
What does it impress you most about?
Kansei. Good question. I think it's just how willing he is to learn. He's very inquisitive. He's always asking me questions about, hey, I was thinking about this, or hey, I'm struggling with this, or hey, I feel really good about this. What do you think about this approach? What do you think about that approach? And he's really just trying to be a sponge as much as he can. And I think that's a really impressive quality. I think a lot of times it's a trap to sort of get to the NFL and think, oh, well, I made it here because of what I know how to do. But really, there's so much collective knowledge in these locker rooms. And so what I've seen is the guys who are inquisitive and curious, that tends to serve them well as they go along their process. And so I think that just how curious he is I think it's a great quality that's going to serve him well.
You've been a team captain before, but now you're in a place where you're kind of an undeniable leader of the special team. The only guy that's returning out there. So how do you step into a role like that? What do you feel like you've been able to do as a leader to get everybody on the same page?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways it's different on the personal level and on the way of, in the past when you have specialists who are around your age or even older than you, they're not necessarily asking for advice the same way. You're more talking through things versus now that you have younger specialists. Me and Matt are the same year, obviously, but all the other specialists in the room, career-wise and age-wise, are younger than me. So you're getting a little bit more personally, getting more questions of advice or, hey, what was this like early in your career? Or what do you wish you would have known going into fall camp your first year? And so I think those questions are a little bit different, and it's been a really fun experience to go through that. But I think from the on the field approach and from the meeting room approach, I just try and be the same guy I always have been. I don't want to step into a role that is forced or is unnatural. And so, I think that from the personal, the one-on-one approach is different, but on the field, on the grass and all that, I'm just going to be the same guy I always have been.
That's good.
The leaders that have come down in this locker room, how has that all come together so far this early in camp?
Yeah, I think it's come together really well. I think we have a great group. I think the guys in the locker room really believe in the message that Coach Kubiak's pushing right now. And I think we're really bought in. I think that, leaders build leaders. And I think that we have some really strong guys in the locker room that are leaders. And I think that that's building more people. And I think that the best teams, from what I've seen from the outside looking in and from the good teams that I've been on, the best teams don't just have, there's this guy who's a leader and there's this guy that's a leader. Everybody kind of is a leader. And, it's kind of like one of the things they talk about in marriage, where like marriage isn't 50-50. Marriage is supposed to be like 100-100, right? Like everybody's giving their best. And I think the leadership should be that way too. And I think everybody should be leading. And it's not a thing where you can say, we can only have 2 or 3 leaders on the team. I think you could have 53 leaders on the team plus the practice squad. You could have 17 leaders on the team. And I don't think there's any issue with that. And I think if everybody's setting the standard, then we're all chasing each other.
What have you noticed that Joe DeCamillis has brought to the special teams unit?
Yeah, he definitely has a very distinct energy in a good way that really locks guys in on special teams. I think sometimes one of the challenges with special teams is offense and defense has so much time, meeting room, on the grass, etc. Special teams, we get guys for a very short period. We probably have 1/5 or 1/8 of the meeting time they have. We get 10, 20 minutes maybe. out of a 2-hour practice, right? So being able to capture guys' attention is something that he really excels at. And it's definitely not a meeting room where you're going to see guys dozing off. He is going to make sure that he has everybody on the edge of their seat constantly. And I think that feeling like your heart rate's a little faster when he's got the clicker in his hand, I think is a good thing.
Coach DeCamillis.
DeCamillis.
I told you, you look like you just slapped the taste out y'all. I tried to tell y'all before we went to class that we ain't gonna sleep in the special teams class. Coach Kubiak don't need to come in here because Coach DeCamillis ain't gonna have it. So I love what I'm hearing from this special team group right here because we got a coach in there, man, for real. What'd you think about what he said, bro?
Hey, he said he has a distinct energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying? And AJ Cole, I'll say this about AJ Cole. AJ Cole is you know, I love listening to AJ Cole. And some people are like, I'm not gonna listen to the punter. Like, this guy is so chill, so laid back, but he still performs. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still like a surfer boy, but he's out there still kicking the heck out of the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that he is taking the approach that he's taking. Because I mean, he is the leader in the in that special teams, you know what I'm saying, room. You know what I'm saying? And for him being the leader, he said, I'm just gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna, because I am supposed to be the leader, I'm just gonna automatically turn into, like an uptight, you know what I'm saying, supervisor. Like, he's like, nah, I'm just gonna be me. And we gonna rock that way. And I think that's the best way. I think that's the best leader. You know what I'm saying? I really do.
Yeah.
And no matter how chill and laid back he presents himself and how funny he be, cracking little jokes here at the presser, continue to do that as the leader of the special teams, because I think everybody in the special teams will respect him even more for being the leader and also being himself at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I've expressed this before. As a player, I made it a point to get cool with the kickers. And I came to find out that the kickers are the coolest. Just the kickers I've had, like every kicker I've ever had was the coolest. And he definitely fits that vibe, and I think he's somebody I wouldn't mind hanging out with. He does look like that California kid. So I do like that. I do like the fact that he's being himself, because a lot of times kickers can be alienated from the team. They only get adulation when they make that game-winning field goal, and you catch a lot of hell if you miss that game-winning field goal.
Right.
And it's only one play. That's why I really, when he said that, I felt that, because it's really one play. You don't have a chance to get it right. You only get one chance to get it right. So I like the vibe that's going on. Like you said, his leadership kind of subsides that stress, and or in confidence or unconfidence or whatever. What's the word I would say? Like, I don't know, when you're not confident. And he exudes confidence. So I like that about him.
What would you say is the biggest difference this year in attitude and just like overall team performance throughout other years?
On special teams or just in general?
In general.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a different feeling every single year, and I think, to the credit of the guys that have been in this locker room, I really do think we've bought in every single time, and I think we're bought in again. And so I don't want to disparage anybody that's previously been here or any other cultures or staff that we've had, but it does seem to feel different this time, and it does seem to feel like we have a really cohesive vision, a really collective buy-in, and I think that the number of people swimming in the same direction is definitely at an all-time high.
A couple more rows.
Matt was talking about his perception of Fernando and him coming in being so humble after all he accomplished in college. As a tenured guy on this team. Just what can that do for team culture? A number one pick coming in and being humble like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that anytime somebody comes in, you want them to be themselves. And when whoever they are is naturally a really good guy and really authentic and genuine and humble, it's a little bit easier to say you should be yourself. And so I don't think that's always easy with the first overall pick. And some people might feel like they have to act a certain type of way. And I think I said this last time on the podium, but we don't need him to be anything other than Fernando. And we just need him to be who he is, because who he is genuinely a great player and it's a great person. And I'm excited to see his development. We're all excited to support him as best the way we can. But it is great when the guy shows up and they already have the humility and they already have, a clean head on their shoulders.
Special teams room debate so far in training camp?
It's a fantastic question. We're kind of early in the training camp, so we're not really in like the full dog days, but the one that I'm planning on bringing up when it really starts to feel a little bit stale is the age-old debate of, are there more wheels or doors? We're going to go to that one. The trivia guesstimation from yesterday was, I've been trying to come with some trivia every day, keep the vibes high. The question yesterday was, how many total parking spaces are there in the United States of America? Anybody have a guess?
I was about to ask, do you want to guess how many total parking spaces there is in America? Let's take an educated guess here, Twuan. So you want me to go first so you can do like on the Price is Right and say $1 and then you be the closest one because I went over?
Yeah, go ahead, because
Okay, I'm going to say how many parking spaces in America is going to be 1 point, I want to say 1.3, but 1.1 billion parking spaces. I'm guessing.
in America,
Yeah.
you know that's okay. I'm taking the over on that.
So you're going to say 1 billion point 101.
I'm taking the over on that.
Okay, let's see.
2.5 million.
2 billion, not even close. No
Wow. 2 billion. Okay. At least I was in the right range, kind of. You feel me?
So people previously dozed off in meeting rooms? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think that's an unfair twist. I wouldn't like that to turn into a headline, and I don't think that's fair to say. But what I'm going to say is that if there were other coaches that you would not be completely locked in on, Coach Joe DeCamillis is not one of those coaches, and the fear of God is going to keep you awake.
I told y'all.
Hey, he over there knocking fire out of people.
I told y'all. My dad was like that. That's how my dad was. I already knew it. I could just see it. I saw it all in his face. I saw he looked like his hands were hella big and fat.
He is in there probably lighting them up. Go ahead.
I know you're not sleeping in my room. I know you're not sleeping in my practice.
Right.
He said he's gonna put the fear of God, but let me tell y'all something.
Hey,
Y'all
play that
might not.
back again. That was hecka funny. He was
Okay.
serious too. He was
Yeah, he
serious
was.
about that.
Completely locked in on. Coach Joe DeCamillis is not one of those coaches, and the fear of God is going to keep you awake.
He sound
The way he was shaking his head.
Hey, he sound like he got whipped. You know what I'm saying? Like when someone like he whooped, you know what I'm saying? My pops whooped me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Right.
what AJ sounds. I like he. Wow.
Yes, Coach
That's funny.
J. Coach DeCamillis.
Coach
Hey,
DeCamillis.
I don't know if y'all peeped this though. Look at his T-shirt. It's a guy lifting weights. If your punter has on a strength shirt, let that soak in. If your punter have a stretch shirt, that let me know everybody in there pumping everybody, like legit everybody. So it's the little things that I'm seeing, man, that's really, really making me excited about this team. Like I said, I'm not necessarily caught up with so much the result as I am the process. So I think I think I think the highlight of this presser was Coach Joe DeCamillis. Justice for 12 said over 600 million. Not even close. Triple said 700 million to 2 billion. That's a big gap right there, but you was right. It's around 360 million people in America, so parking should be 2 or 3 times or more. That's a good way to break it down. The minutes. Yes. So
I look. He talking about, hey, he's the one. That's the one teacher that you better stay awake in the class.
Right, you better not, because if
That's
you nod
right.
off and wake up and he's sitting right there, boy, you thinking it's their last day right there, boy.
I had a what did he teach? What was it? I don't want to say social studies, but it was one of like the history classes in high school. And this teacher had a yardstick. You remember like the old school yardsticks?
Yeah.
But he would duct tape it.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone fell asleep in the class, he would light up that desk.
Hella loud.
And you would hear whack. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just the yardstick because he hit the desk, it broke in certain places. So like by the end of the year, like that yardstick turned into a whip. So if someone was in, you know what I'm saying, because in high school, people would just be like laying on their desk, you know what I'm saying, just laying on their desk, passed out while the teacher's still teaching. And some teachers just let that kid go to, let that kid sleep or let the kids pick on him, you know what I'm saying, because he was asleep, you know what I'm saying? Like, but no, this teacher, like, if a kid was thinking about dozing off, he would get that yardstick in. And everybody knew in the class it was about to happen because everybody was like, "Oh, he got the stick, and he go, wow!" And, and that person would pop up, you know what I'm saying? Because they be all like, I ain't saying that's what DeCamillis is doing, but he's doing something lightweight to that extent. If he's saying, you know what I'm saying, everybody is paying attention and woke in the class.
Yeah, for real though. That's that old school. That's that old school for real. So
I wonder
I like that.
I wonder who got you know what I'm saying, who got the business, because there was somebody that was made an example. At least one.
It probably was just one. Trust me. I don't know if it was past one, but whoever that one that got it got the business and made an example out of it. Because you know how in the old school you used to get a whooping so bad that you wouldn't get another one for like 6 months.
Right. And they be talking about we did that to instill the fear in you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Coach DeCamillis. He is the star. I thought the Tokyo Toe was gonna be the star of this presser. No. No. So yeah, I'm juiced about that. I like that. So they start hitting tomorrow. They pad it up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Now I'm about to start paying attention. I was paying attention, but I'm talking about uber attention. They got the right coach to end the regular part of practice because Coach DeCamillis is not playing. So I hope we ain't playing, because if our special team coach is like that, the rest of our coaches is just like not exactly like him, but they have that discipline that they're installing into this team. And that's one thing that we weren't, is discipline.
And I think and like it just like let's talk about that. real quick, Black. Let's talk about our coordinators and their vibes, right? We know that DeCamillis, obviously, the vibe that we get from him off of this presser, that he's a no nonsense, you know what I'm saying? He ain't playing no games type of coach. And then you got the head coach, who's, let's call him the offensive coordinator, but Kubiak, and everything that we've heard from the reports of who Kubiak is he's all football. So he's another nonsense, you know what I'm saying? And Robbie Leonard, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know Robbie Leonard was on that same, you know what I'm saying? Like, same intensity, like in his own way, you know what I'm saying? He's a little different, but he's still a non, you know what I'm saying? A non BS type of person. So that is the vibe that's going to permeate and vibe across this, you know what I'm saying, across this team. There was I forgot who said it, but they were talking about the vibe of, everybody coming in just going straight to work. It wasn't even like a little, none of that. Everybody was just going, just putting in the work. And if our head coach is a nonsense, all football, again, all that trickles down. So it seems like the guys that we have in our coordinator spots, I think they all work together collectively. Because again, they coach their own things, but all three sides need to come together on Sundays.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can tell that they're all on the same page. It's going to be very hard to get me to believe that anyone is sabotaging anything in this locker room.
Right.
I think they're all going to be on the same page, and it's funny because they all respect each other's space because everyone's accountable for their 111.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, you guys train them up the way you do. Hey, I don't care how you get there though.
Right.
I don't care how you get it done. Just get it done. And so, with that level of accountability, there's nothing but upside for that. And even if it does take a little bit of time, like you said about even Fernando, you said, I don't care if it takes 5 years, but if we get it right, then that's what it's about. Mm. And the same thing here. Like, if we don't get it right, yeah, it might take a little bit of time, but once it catch on, it's gonna be hard to break that. And that's the difference between being a worst to first 1 year and then go back from first to worst the second year, because we've seen that.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. So I like the consistency.
Yeah. No, and I'm with you on that. This is a situation kind of like when you with parenting. You have one parent that's the authoritative, and then the other one is over there giving ice cream. You know what I'm saying, on the low. Like I don't think we got that situation where, you know what I'm saying, DeCamillis is being authoritative and Robbie Leonard is on the side giving people ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're all really on the same page in regards to how they're going to move forward. When I said the whole Mendoza 5-year, you know what I'm saying, metric, I was being very sarcastic, because I don't believe that it's going to take 5 years for Mendoza to get it right, but it's still
yeah.
I still hold true to my statement as, hey, let's make sure, if we have the time for these guys to get it together, let's make sure these guys are all working it out to get it together. And I think it might, because they're all on one page, coaching staff wise, it seems like it might speed up, to be honest with you, because again, you don't got that, oh, this person's going to baby me, or, you know what I'm saying, there ain't no politics in that situation, because everybody seems like, you know what I'm saying, they'll give you the business in their own way. Because I as quiet as Kubiak is, I know that, you know what I'm saying, if he needed to get into somebody, you know what I'm saying, for, and reprimand him for something, he ain't gonna hold back on it either.
Yeah, no, for sure he ain't. He ain't gonna hold back at all. And everybody on the same page. So it's like no matter where you go, it's gonna be that way. And so that's the culture.
Salute,
That's the
salute,
culture.
Major. Good to see you, bro. He has a
Yeah.
good channel. Check him out if you're a Laker fan. He spits the realest over there. You know what I'm saying, at major level. So
Okay, shout out to Major Level for sure. They don't have Bon Bon no more. So it's a new era over there for them.
yeah.
Yeah, so man, we started off watching Kirk Cousins doing a $150, sideways doing a $150 to the locker room on them, to Coach D Realist, letting it be known, to finding out there's 2 billion parking spots in the United States.
Yeah,
So
impress your lady and tell her that fact. You know what I'm saying? Act like you know something. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
right.
you know me. You know, I was thinking about it. How many parking spots are there in America? You know what I'm saying?
hmm Yeah, so I thought going into this pressure was gonna be, man,
Right.
nah, I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. Oh yeah, and by the way, I love Kirk Cousins, by the way.
Hey, and I was gonna say that, Black. Like I was really gonna have that conversation with you. Like, I really like this presser.
Yeah.
This is probably I'm not gonna say this is probably the best presser, you know what I'm saying, so out of camp so far, but this is definitely probably I would say top 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 2. It is the best. Well, yeah, let's say top 2. It was well rounded,
Right.
Yeah. So shout out to the Raiders for that, man. Like I said, I'm loving the fact that we're getting to know the players and the coaches. It's not just the one coach up there doing all the pressers or the same 2 coaches doing the pressers. Everybody is responsible for what they got going on, and they're the ones with the information. They have the knowledge, so let them talk about it and let that be what it is. So let's fall in line, Raider Nation. I'm just saying, if you guys thought we was gonna win 4 games, you might want to say 5 now. You might want to say 5 because I think we're gonna do something special. Well, I really do. I mean, I know I see teams that do something special. Like last year, I thought the Bears were special, and they were. It doesn't always equate to Super Bowl, but it's a building block. It's a building block. It's a process. I don't think we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year, but can we? It's possible. That's how y'all be doing me. It's possible. So yeah, it's possible. So hey, I didn't up the ante, man. I'm at 8 games now, man. I got 8 games, man, and guess who number is 8? Kirk Cousins.
Kirk
Because you want to know why? I love Kirk Cousins. That's why.
You said you definitely don't sound like you a Nando sexual. You know what I'm saying? You know.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, maybe at some point when the room clears out, but as of right now,
Yeah.
no, actually, I ain't gonna be an endosexual because I ain't gonna be delusioned about where he is.
Yeah, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I might eventually grow into really a fan of Fernando Mendoza, but I'm still gonna put it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be flying to the moon. You know what I'm saying? With with Fernando Mendoza unless he takes us to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Unless
That's
he
right.
takes us there, I'm not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how we need to take all these players. Like, yeah, you can be, I like this guy. I think he'll do well for us or whatever. But like the way beyond like glazing of somebody that really hasn't even accomplished anything yet is just a little it's a little crazy to me.
Right. A little something. Hey, I'm glad you cleared up the 5-year thing too, because I repeated it because that's how you said it. But I know you didn't mean literally
Yeah.
5 years, but you know the time that it takes. I'm just saying, have the patience of the 5 years.
Exactly.
Because we know that's what the contract. But with this kid, I don't think that that's what it is. And the crazy thing about Fernando is this: a lot of time, people when they're making these assessments, they're looking for a prototype. And prototypes don't always work out. Matter of fact, I would venture to say it don't work out more than not. You know how many times I watch videos or people say he's going D1 or he's going pro because they have that look. It takes a little bit more to it than that. It's the work that's involved. It's the humbleness that's involved. It's the patience that's involved. It's the buying in that's involved. That's the taking out the ego. To me, ego stands for easing God out. So the more ego you have, the less you are centered. So
Right.
when you walk in with those things and the team notices that, that's the way you earn their respect.
Hey.
Not throwing back shoulders all day in practice. Yeah, that's cool because it has to translate on the field, but you got to get on the field. And even if you're on the field, you got to make sure y'all all on the same timing. Because a lot of problems that we were having with the players last year was timing. The timing was off on the field and off the field. So we're taking care of what we can control, which is the off the field or off game. You know what I mean? Not in the games, and we're controlling that up until this point. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. They're gonna practice tomorrow, um, with the pads. So a lot of people gonna be talking about it. I'm gonna put my ears to the street and see what's going on with that. We start really giving my assessment about that, and we'll see where we go with that. Just for 12 said, you got us going 8-9. That would be a turnaround season. Yes, 8-9. Because I was thinking to myself, can Klint Kubiak stand? I'm talking about with the personality and the accountability and the expectation. Could he stand us losing 10 games or more? I think he would lose his if he lost 10 games. That's what
Right.
I'm feel. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling he would lose his if he lost 10 games. And if that is the case, then that means no, we can't lose no more than 9 games. So that pushes us up to 8 games to winning, and that's about 500. Because 500 football, I promise you that it's these goosebumps. I wish y'all could see it. I promise you, if we even went 8-9, he's gonna be like, I'm not so satisfied with that. That's a losing record. That's 500. That's 500. I
Yeah.
expected us to do that. We're trying to win a Super Bowl here. You see, Nailor so leak that in there. I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. That don't sound like we rebuilding. Yeah, we are rebuilding, but our mentality is there. And it starts with the mentality. You don't gain confidence like, well, I think that we can get these wins and we're gonna go out there and see what happened. No, you got confidence when you step on the field. This is the elite level. And where a lot of teams lose is their mindset. Because then their mindset will cause them not to put in the work. And then not putting in the work is not putting yourself in the best position to win. So I'm loving it.
And that just and let me get into this, Black. It screams and it barks order, right? Kubiak is not concerned about a rebuild. Spytech is worried about a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? That's his job to build out this roster. Kubiak's job is whoever is lined up. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use whoever we got to win. So it's not the focus of a rebuild. Yeah, you can have that conversation with Spytech, because Spytech is definitely gonna be looking at who's in the draft and who's out there free agency or who we can poach from another team to make our team better. But that's not Kubiak's concern. Kubiak's concern is, what can I get out of Nailor? What can I get out of Ashton Genty? What can I What can I continue to get out of, you know what I'm saying, out of Brock Bowers? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that Kubiak is concerned of. What's in front of me, and what can I maximize out of these guys that are in front of me? So I right now, like you said, we might have, for me, and like you're saying, we might have to, everybody might just have to at least bump up one more win, you know what I'm saying, to they win total, because again, the order is set. It seems like everybody coaching wise is on the same temperament. You know what I'm saying? They ain't stepping on each other's toes. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing none of that. So there's some very positive things going on. There's a positive process that is being made over here with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay. There ain't nothing else for me to say about that, man. You want to close us out? You got a word for us?
Yeah, I was really trying to hold myself back when you said, you know, the ego. You know what I'm saying? The what is that? Edging God out?
Easing God out.
Easing God out. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Why don't do that? This is my word to you. Don't edge God out. Why? Because God is your source of all your blessings and all the things that you need, and all the things you thought you thought you needed. He's the one that's helping you from those things. You know what I'm saying? He's doing all the things that are blessing you and keeping you and making sure that all things work together for the good. So don't ease God out. And if you don't got God, get God. God bless you.
I'm a raider from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Recipes to Al Davis.